Hello, tonight I'll be thinning out some of my Gewehr 88 collection. These are very interesting German guns, and they have a very popular following. There's a lot of information on YouTube, also on the internet regarding these guns. I am not an expert, but I will share with you what I know. I'll be listing both these guns shortly on Gun Broker. The very first gun is in a little better condition, actually very nice condition, and these are more commonly found, therefore they do not demand the price of the other gun. These guns were export versions, and they were after 1905. They were rechambered in a 7.92.57 round, and they went to many countries: Poland, Czechoslovakia. This particular one went to Turkey, and I will have a separate video on it shortly. But the reason you can tell it went to Turkey is it has Arabic stampings and it has the sea crescents stamped on it. I will point out, however, some of the differences of the gun. If you look on the Turkish gun, you'll see a cutout here at the back of the barrel chamber before the bolt, and you'll also see a cutout here at the back of the receiver, and these two wings welded on, and that was for a later stripper clip, the Gewehr 98 Mauser clip, which fed this gun and brought it up to the more modern world of late World War I and onward, that Turkey used it. Now back to the other gun that I'll be listing. This gun is a lot more valuable. It has a lot more history as far as combat goes. There's no doubt in my mind this gun saw combat. It is a Gewehr 88, but it is all German stampings. And the interesting thing about this gun, if you look, it does not have the cutout, and it does not have the wings welded on. This gun, the gun originally was fed by a 7.92. It was called the Patron round. It was smokeless, and it was a German panic response to the French Lebel, which caught them by surprise. The Lebel was the first gun to use smokeless powder, and the power of the round was exceptional. So the Germans needed to come up with something pretty quick, and this was the Gewehr 88. It's also known as the commission rifle, and because people call it a Mauser, but it really is not. It has Mauser engineering and parts, but this commission, what they did is they actually licensed many different German experts and manufacturers to contribute to this gun. They paid for the patent licensing, but it turned out to be a decent gun. However, again, this was a time of rapid arms advancement, so they needed a more powerful round, which you saw in the other Mauser. That was the 7.9257 Spitzer. This gun was actually chambered for that. It doesn't have the cutout because it doesn't feed by the clip, but if you look on the top of the receiver here, it's marked S. So that means this was rechambered for that Spitzer round. So this gun is known as the 88S. It was kind of a interim gun. It was a panic response during the war by the Germans to be able to use the more powerful ammunition in this gun. This gun, these guns rotated throughout many different regiments. They went from front line to reserve, and every time they did, they would restamp new unit markings. This gun is full of re-stampings of new units, but it's all German, and the markings on it are incredible. I'll have more detail photos up on Gun Broker where you can examine it more closely. I took the gun apart. This part, if you see, has some rust. This was not uncommon. This is very thin metal. This is not a barrel. This is a barrel shield. Underneath this is the actual barrel of the gun, and it's pristine. So this is one of the issues with the gun, is these guns would corrode on these barrel shields. The other issue with this gun is when they converted to the S rounds. Again, this was during wartime, and the Germans were basically under pressure, and so some of these, the original gun I believe was a .318 chamber, and then they were rechambered to 323. but not all the guns were done because of the war. So it's unknown. I believe there was a Z stamp that they would put on these, right about where the S is, if they did it, but they didn't always do that either. So I have never slugged the bore on this gun, so I do not know if it's the 318 or the 323. The issue with that is if you run the more powerful round through the 318, you're going to create more pressure in the gun. So if anybody buys this gun and wants, these guns are shootable, there's ammunition available, but if you are going to use this gun, you definitely want to take it to a gunsmith, or if you're knowledgeable yourself, you want to slug the bore and figure out the rifling on this gun before you would attempt to use it. Again, there'll be a lot more information on Gunbroker. I just wanted to share what I know about the gun with you. And again, this gun, it has a lot of history. It's not in as nice a shape as the other gun, but considering that this gun saw action, it's in pretty nice shape. And hope that you enjoy the video, and happy bidding. Thank you.